I alluded to this in one of the vlogs that we did recently, but one of the new key hires at Experiment 27 has been a senior sales manager. One of the reasons why we added the senior sales manager is to help improve our internal sales guys. He's also helping with X27 processes to help get things better. When you grow as a company, one of the things that I've heard from more successful business owners to do is to invest in a higher quality team. So that's one of the things that we're really improving at X27, hiring a stronger team to help defend our position and make us a better, more scalable, more successful company. We hired the sales manager. His name is Patrick Duhan, and he's working weekly with Billy, who's our sales guy, who you saw in a previous vlog. If you want to check out the HustleCon vlog, he's in that. And here are the learnings from the first week of working together. This is a presentation Patrick sent, so let's jump into it. The way that we approached training Billy in the first week was Billy has a strong SaaS background. So he's extremely good at booking meetings with companies. 8, 9, 10, even 12 cold qualified meetings per week was nothing for Billy. He was crushing his numbers every week, but we were less confident in his closing abilities and in his ability to speak about the company itself. A lot of the stuff we covered were what you might call basics, but these are going in assuming he knew already how to book meetings and how to get those people interested enough to meet with us in the first place. First, Patrick went through how to set up an initial sales meeting. He reviewed the cold email process, figured out how we could change it. We also looked through identifying prospects' key problems, issues, and goals. So we wrote out a list of questions, and maybe in a future video I'll run through what those specific issues and questions were. But right now I just want to do a high-level overview of what we did. Then we went over how to aggressively follow up with an opportunity. Follow-up was one of the big things that Billy was missing, which is like he would take a call, and this is a problem a lot of salespeople have. He'd take a call and then he would only follow up like once or twice, when it really takes like 5, 6, sometimes even 7 calls with a prospect to know for sure that they're not going to buy. So aggressively following up and coming up with some solutions to some issues, finding some deals that we thought were cold and that weren't going to close, and then getting them closer to closing. And then handling the proposal process. We're still working on this, but we're improving our proposals, making them more custom. And in a future video, I want to talk about what we're doing along those lines. Because right now we still use a fairly generic proposal that looks customized, but it's not as custom as something like we were using back at my last agency, or that a lot of agencies use. So handling the proposal process is something that we touched on as well. Also in this first week, he went deep with the closing process. Billy has always been good at asking closing questions, but he only really leaned on that one question, which was, what's your timeline, or what's the timeline for when you see us implementing a service? And for you guys, if you don't ask closing questions, it's a really good first question to ask because it really helps them open up. But we added some new closing questions to the process. This is the type of thing that adding a senior sales manager could really help with, because Patrick has studied all these sales books. Like, he knows these little tricks that even somebody who's been selling, like us, don't really know. Because I'm not a big fan of selling by the book, right? I'm more of a fan of like selling via gut feel, like learning their problems and engaging their solutions that way. And then the last thing is the importance of setting and hitting weekly activity goals, which is something we talked about in previous videos. Billy's goal still is 8 meetings per week, which means 200 plus cold emails sent and 200 plus cold calls per week. So making sure he hits those base numbers, and then that hits the meeting goal number, which will eventually hit the closes number, which is 4 closes a month. Where we are right now is we're halfway through July. Billy's closed 2 of the 4 needed. So actually not even halfway through July. Where are we? We're on July 8th. So we've got about 20 more days, and I'm pretty confident that these are gonna work. If you found this video valuable, let me know in the comments if you want me to go more in depth on these learnings with Billy, because we can go super deep, right? I can show you the questions that we're asking in the sales meetings. I could show you maybe even some recorded sales calls. We're getting some of those. Like, if this is interesting to you guys, let me know. Like this video to encourage this type of content. Subscribe for more B2B sales training. And if you need marketing support for your digital agency, check out experiment27.com. Thanks.